This isn't 1945, Grandpa. We code here, not March. The panel mocked the 55-year-old veteran in his outdated Marine dress blues. His ribbons were faded, the uniform tight from age. They dismissed him after 2 minutes. But in the parking lot, a Bentley was waiting. The CEO stepped out. "Sergeant Miller? I saw you walk in. You saved my brother in Fallujah. You start Monday as senior director." Hey, welcome to Silent Courage Stories. Before we jump into this powerful story about respect, justice, and hidden heroes, drop a comment and tell us what city you're watching from. And hey, if you think stories like this should never be forgotten, hit that subscribe button and help us keep their memory alive. TechNova Solutions, San Francisco. Monday morning, 10 a.m. Glass building, modern offices, ping-pong tables, MacBooks in every corner. Gunnery Sergeant Robert Miller, 55 years old, sat in the waiting area in his Marine Corps dress blues. 1991 vintage uniform from the Gulf War. It was his only suit. His wife Susan was sick. Medical bills had taken everything. The young receptionist, Ashley, 23 years old, saw him and texted, "OMG, old guy in military costume for job interview. Instagram worthy." The interview panel was ready inside. 3 people: David Chen, 28, Human Resources Director; Tyler Brooks, 31, Technical Director; Madison Kim, 26, Talent Acquisition Specialist. When Robert entered, all 3 stared in shock. Tyler laughed. Is that a uniform?" "Yes, sir. Marine Corps dress blues. I don't have another suit." Madison posted an Instagram story. "Grandpa applied for a job, apparently." Jason stood up, walked around him. "This isn't 1945, Grandpa. We code here, not March." All 3 burst into laughter. Robert remained silent, shoulders straight, Marine bearing. "We looked at your CV," said Tyler. "You have 0 tech experience." "No, sir, but I'm ready to learn. I'm disciplined. In the Marines." "What did you do in the Marines? Clean rifles?" Jason was mocking. "No, sir. I was a communication system specialist. Set up networks in field conditions." Madison was tweeting, "Old soldier wants to learn coding. Grandpa probably just learned Word." "Tech fail networks?" Tyler laughed. "Networks from the 90s aren't the same as now." "I know, sir. That's why I want to learn." Jason looked closely at the uniform. "What are these? Medals?" "Yes. Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Navy Achievement." "Wow, real American hero." Madison was sarcastic. "Can you send email, though?" Robert's face reddened. "Yes, I can. Do you know Python?" "No." "JavaScript?" "No." "HTML? The basics?" All 3 burst out laughing. "The basics!" Tyler was wiping tears. "Dude, this isn't Google, but we have standards." Madison stood up. "Mr. Miller, right? You're not suitable for this position. You haven't even asked." "Asked what? Your bullet count?" Jason laughed. "Did you serve in Fallujah?" Tyler gave a fake military salute. Robert quietly stood up. "Yes, 2004, Second Battle of Fallujah." "Ooh, war stories." Madison started recording. "Come on, tell us, how many bad guys did you kill?" Robert's hands trembled. PTSD. He calmed himself. "I saved 13 Marines' lives. One was Lance Corporal Danny Chen." The room went silent. "Danny Chen?" Jason's voice changed. "Yes, why?" "Nothing. Common name," Tyler interrupted. "Anyway, interview's over. We'll call you." They wouldn't call. Everyone knew it. Robert left. 2 minutes, 2-minute interview. Walking to the elevator, the receptionist called out, "Hey, soldier boy, is the uniform rented?" Robert didn't respond. He went outside. In the parking lot, a black Bentley was waiting. The driver stood by the door. A man emerged from the car. David Chen, 45 years old, CEO and founder of TechNova. "Sergeant Miller," Robert turned. "Yes?" "I'm David Chen, Danny Chen's brother." Robert's breath caught. "I saw you in the lobby." "That uniform, those medals. I recognized you from Danny's photos." David's eyes were wet. "You saved Danny in Fallujah, under sniper fire, carried him on your back. It was my duty, sir. No, David was crying now. Beyond duty. You made your body a shield, took 3 bullets. He pointed to the Purple Heart. You got this for that. Danny's alive. Thanks to you, said Robert. I know, in Boston. He's a doctor now, has kids, all because of you. David pulled out his phone. Jason. Yes, bro. Jason's voice came through the speaker. My office. Now, bring Tyler and Madison. 5 minutes later, CEO office. David Chen sat behind his desk, Robert beside him, Jason, Tyler, and Madison across from them. Tell me, said David. How was the interview? Jason stammered. Good. It was good. He has no experience, but David turned his laptop around. Madison's Instagram story, Tyler's tweet, security camera footage from the waiting area, how they laughed. Not suitable, is he? Tyler's face went white. Bro, you what? You mocked a Marine, a Bronze Star recipient, a hero. We didn't know. Shut up, David shouted. This man saved my brother's life. In Fallujah. Danny, remember him, Jason? Your cousin. Jason's knees were shaking. David continued. November 13th, 2004. Danny was hit by sniper fire. He was in the open. No one could reach him. Sergeant Miller ran into the open, put Danny on his back, carried him 200 meters. Robert intervened. Sir, there's no need. There is. Let them hear. David showed the screen. Look, Jason. Danny's letter, he wrote to you. On screen was Danny Chen's email. David, bro, I heard Sergeant Miller is looking for work. If he comes to TechNova, please open the doors. This man is my life. Without him, I wouldn't exist. My children wouldn't exist. Madison started crying. You 3, said David, are fired. Bro, please, Jason begged. Danny's my cousin. I didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't ask. You looked at the uniform at his age and judged. Tyler fell to his knees. Mr. Miller, I'm sorry. Please. Robert stood up. Mr. Chen, please, they don't need to be fired. Robert, no, they're young, they didn't know. Let them learn. David paused. What do you want? A chance to teach them and to learn myself. Madison was sobbing. Hire him. Please, I'll resign, but hire him. Robert looked at Madison. You don't need to resign, but you'll teach me Python. What? I heard. Python, JavaScript, HTML. I'll learn. You'll teach. Jason stood up. I'll teach too. Everything. Tyler. Me too. Free. Weekends. David looked at Robert. Are you sure? I learned in the Marines, Mr. Chen. Ignorance is the enemy, not people. Education wins. David stood up. Robert Miller, I'm hiring you as Senior Director of Veteran Affairs. Starting salary $150,000. Robert was surprised. That's too much. It's not enough. Also, you'll start a veteran hiring program. You'll be the advisor. Jason, Tyler, and Madison were still there. You 3, said David, are on probation. You'll report to Mr. Miller. But he doesn't know tech, Tyler started. He doesn't need to, David shouted. He knows leadership. He knows discipline. He knows how to save lives. From that day, TechNova changed. Robert came every day. Still sometimes wore his uniform. No one laughed anymore. Madison taught him Python. Mr. Miller, this is how loops work. I understand, Madison. In Fallujah, we set up communication loops. Same logic. Tyler taught JavaScript. Functions work like tactics, said Robert. Each function has a mission. Jason kept apologizing. Mr. Miller, I'm really sorry. Jason, Danny loves you. Always talked about you. Cousin Jason, he'd say. 6 months later, Robert had learned basic programming. But more importantly, he'd hired 20 veterans. TechNova received the Veteran Friendly Company Award. At the ceremony, Robert spoke. I came here in my dress blues. They mocked me. Normal. Appearances deceive. But CEO David Chen didn't look at appearance. He looked at the story. David spoke. Robert Miller saved my brother. Now he's saving my company. Veterans bring discipline, loyalty, sacrifice. Danny Chen made a surprise appearance. He'd come from Boston. He went on stage, hugged Robert. Both were crying. "Sergeant Miller, I owe you my life." "No, Danny. You fought to survive. I just helped." Madison, Tyler, and Jason were on stage. Madison: "Mr. Miller changed me, taught me to look at the person, not the uniform." Tyler: "Coding is easy. Saving lives is hard. Mr. Miller knows the latter." Jason: "He saved my cousin Danny. I mocked him without knowing. Unforgivable, but he forgave." Robert turned to them. "You taught me code. I taught you something else. Everyone deserves a second chance." Today, Robert's photo hangs in TechNova's lobby, in his dress blues. Below it reads, "Gunnery Sergeant Robert Miller, Marine, hero, teacher, appearances deceive, character endures." Jason, Tyler, and Madison still work there. They run the veteran hiring program. Every year on November 13th, Fallujah Day, the company honors Danny Chen and Robert Miller. Danny gives a speech. "If Sergeant Miller hadn't saved me, TechNova wouldn't exist. My brother David founded the company for me, because I'm alive. Robert is now 60, still working, sometimes wears dress blues. No one laughs, everyone salutes, because now they know uniform isn't just fabric. Age isn't just a number. Medals aren't just metal. They're stories, sacrifice, heroism. And sometimes, just sometimes, a CEO waits in the parking lot, and everything changes because of a Marine, because of a uniform, because of a second chance. The story of Robert Miller became legendary in Silicon Valley. It changed how tech companies viewed veteran hiring. A year after the incident, Tyler Brooks wrote a Medium article. "The day I mocked a hero. I saw an old man in an outdated uniform. I laughed. I judged. I dismissed him in 2 minutes. That man had saved 13 lives, including my colleague's cousin. He took 3 bullets saving others, and I asked if he could use email." The article went viral. Tyler received death threats initially, but Robert publicly defended him. Tyler made a mistake. He owned it. He learned. That's growth. Don't destroy him for being human. Madison Kim started a nonprofit, Code Warriors, teaching programming to veterans. Mr. Miller couldn't code, but he could lead. He taught me that technical skills are learnable. Character isn't. Jason Chen became the family's biggest advocate for veteran causes. At a family reunion, Danny brought his children to meet Robert. "Kids, this is the man who saved Daddy's life." Robert knelt down to their level. "Your daddy's the brave one. He fought to stay alive for you." The children hugged him. "Thank you for saving our daddy." TechNova's veteran program became a Harvard Business School case study. From mockery to model, the Miller transformation. Companies across Silicon Valley adopted similar programs. At a tech conference, Robert was asked, "How do you handle being mocked for your age and background?" "I remember Fallujah. If I could handle that, I can handle ignorance. Besides, ignorance is curable. Death isn't." David Chen implemented the Miller Rule. Every interview panel must have one veteran. Veterans see things differently. They see potential where others see problems. 5 years later, Robert retired. His farewell was held at the Marines Memorial Club. David Chen spoke. "Robert didn't just save my brother. He saved my company's soul. We were becoming arrogant, disconnected. He grounded us." Tyler, now VP of Engineering, spoke. "I'll never forget laughing at his uniform. That shame drives me to be better every day." Madison, CEO of Code Warriors, spoke. "Mr. Miller proved that courage isn't about age or technology. It's about showing up, even when people laugh." Jason, head of Veteran Affairs, spoke. "My cousin Danny is alive because of this man. I almost destroyed his dignity because of ignorance. He restored it with grace." Robert gave the final speech. "I wore my dress blues because it was all I had." They laughed, but one man didn't. David Chen saw beyond the uniform. He saw a Marine. More importantly, he saw a human being. To the young people here, you will make mistakes. You will judge wrongly. The question is, will you learn? Will you grow? Tyler, Madison, and Jason did. They're better humans for it. To the veterans here, your uniform means something. Your service matters. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. To everyone, second chances transform lives. I gave 3 young people a second chance. They gave me a new career. That's how America works. That's how humanity works. The room gave a 10-minute standing ovation. Today, there's a scholarship at San Francisco State, the Miller Chen Scholarship for Veterans in Tech. Robert, now 70, still mentors, still wears his dress blues occasionally. At a recent event, a young programmer mocked an older veteran's outfit. Robert pulled him aside. "Son, let me tell you a story about 3 young people who laughed at a uniform and how they became champions for veterans. Want to be the 4th?" The cycle continues, teaching, learning, growing, all because a Marine wore his only suit to an interview. All because a CEO recognized a hero. All because 3 young people learned that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear dress blues, faded, tight, decorated, and absolutely worthy of respect.